Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Figli Del Vesuvio Podcast. This is episode 5, along with me, Sereno, and my co-partner, Carmine.
So, buddy,
let's get into it. We're gonna talk a little bit about the end of the Mercato, or upcoming end of the Mercato, and Napoli's preseason. I want to personally start with the big news of the day, which is the Milik to Roma affair or fiasco that's happening right now. That we're not really sure what's going on, if he's going or not, but it's driving everybody crazy on Twitter. And me, myself, I literally want to grab him and drive him myself to Roma personally. But
yeah.
It's just get your thoughts on it first.
Okay. Milik to Roma. That's if Milik goes to Roma. I want it to happen. I feel that Milik's time with the club, he's worn his welcome, in my opinion. We stuck with him for 2 years. Through injury, we stayed with him day in and day out. And at the end of the day, this is how he repays us. And it leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. It's almost like a Higuain thing all over again.
I know.
Except Juventus doesn't want him. So be it. But it's just, after a club has given you so much, right? They've given you opportunity on opportunity on opportunity in times that realistically he shouldn't have been given some opportunities. He's underperformed. He's been underwhelming for, I'd say, for at least half the starts this year. You could even throw in last year too. I don't know. He's just, for the money that we could get for him, which is like 25 plus add-ons, so like 30 million euros. 30 million euros, that's a good amount of money that we can reinvest in other positions. Plus, we already have strikers covered. We have Pedania, Osimhen, and Mertens. You can throw in the rotation too if he's not playing Cam, which we'll get into after for the preseason 4-2-3-1 formation. But yeah, he's just okay. The benefit.
I could talk days about Milik. Like the things that I like about him, the things that frustrate me very, very much. Unfortunately, most people, especially in sports, you only kind of remember like what have you done for me lately, not like what have you done for me. I mean, he's not a bad striker. Like if you look at his past seasons when he hasn't been injured, his goal conversion rate is not terrible. He does tend to disappear in big games. And he is kind of streaky, but lately, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just if he's disgruntled or like maybe not getting the whole fiasco with the mutiny and everything. I have no idea, but I'd say the last season and a half, he's been like terrible, hard to watch. And then especially these last few months after the lockdown, I thought maybe the lockdown might have, just like for Lozano, might have helped out Milik a bit. I know Gattuso tried to get him going. There's like reports of like Gattuso and him becoming really close during the lockdown, maybe talking strategy. So I was expecting him to maybe be doing a little bit better, but it looks like it's gone the opposite direction. Most games, if he's in the starting lineup, I'm just miserable. It's tough to watch. He spends most of the game on the floor, to be quite honest. And looking at what the rumored deal is, like I think that's a steal. I think if the fact that they got anywhere close to what they bought him for, given the fact that he's had 2 ACL tears and how he's been performing lately, like. I mean, he could always, turn it around and maybe become like a decent striker. But as of right now, the fact that they can get almost 30 million euros, like take it and go, like run.
Yeah.
But that being said, this is his last year of the contract, and it seems like he's more than content to stick it out to try to get a move to specifically Juventus. Funny enough, which. Fans are going to be tearing apart if he has to sit whole season in the stands to go to Juventus at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good situation for him living in Naples, to be honest.
Yeah, it's definitely not the smartest move. But I got to be honest, with the Milik situation too, we haven't been easy on him either. A lot of the Napoli Tifosi haven't. Oh,
Well,
come on.
that's fair. That's fair. I mean,
We haven't been easy on him, and you know what? You get fed up
like you gotta
after a while.
You gotta stick by your players. I think that Napoli fans have been more than patient through the injuries, through the lackluster performance. But there's only you can only say for so long oh well, he's been injured, he's had a few injuries, this and that. But at a certain point, it's like, oh my god, you gotta figure your stuff out. And then at the end of the day, instead it looks like he's not even trying. So I think that's what's making Napoli fans, dig into him even more, is the fact that every week it looks like he's not even there. He looks like he's refereeing, and then now you want to go to Juve,
Not only that, just you mix that, right? You mix that mentality, which right now his mentality is, I couldn't give a fuck about this club. Let me get out of here. Or he's saying right now, I'm not gonna accept any other move for the sole fact that I'm gonna ride pine, get paid, and then I'll make my move after, right? Because right now nobody's gonna pay more than what Roma's paying him, in my opinion. No. That's the maximum amount we can get for him.
If he's getting 5 a season, if that's what I saw, they're offering him 5 a season net.
Yeah. And by the way, if I'm a player and I know for the next season I'm riding pine, and you come up to me with an offer that says we'll give you €5 million a season, where is the paper? I'll sign it right here. Right now.
Starting striker, and Roma's not a small team. Roma's not
exactly.
a team. Roma's a big team in Italy.
Big team.
And
exactly.
Also for himself, the Euros coming up, 2021. Don't you want to kind of be a starter in a top 5?
Get back into form.
Get in form, and then maybe be considered in the starting rotation for Poland.
He's already getting phased out of the starting rotation for Poland, anyways.
Of course.
For the last couple of matches, in the whatever it's called, the Nations League. That's what it's called. He hasn't been starting. He's being phased out already. The Poland national squad. So what makes you think that a club won't do the same thing for you? You're getting phased out of a national squad. A club is not going to think twice about it either.
Oh, for
sure. Especially if you've been having lackluster performances that you've been having for the last year and a half. And I think it's going to be you know what? It won't be exactly like an Alan situation, which, I watched Alan play a couple of days ago.
He played very well.
He played like he was in 2016. He looked exactly the same.
Doesn't that kind of piss you off a little bit?
It pisses me off, but I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised either, but it's come on, you're a professional. I get that you wanted that PSG move, but Napoli, that's your team. You get paid to do a job.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know.
That's what bothers me the most about both of them, is that you're getting paid to do something and you're not performing.
You want to move, but you still got to go to work and you got to do your job.
If I go to work, I'm getting paid to do something.
Right? You know what pisses me off? Sorry to interrupt. You know what pisses me off more than anything is that he was upset at Napoli for not selling him, right? But yet he ends up going to the coach that blocked his transfer a year ago and is content to play.
Yeah.
For Ancelotti, literally, last year or whatever, was it 2018? I blocked that transfer to PSG.
Yeah, but it was not just Ancelotti. That was an amalgamation of just between coaching staff and the higher ups in the Sociedad. That was just, it was a whole gong show between each other, and nobody was ever on the same page. So,
but I mean, Ancelotti literally
it's not just him, right?
Ancelotti literally said he would riot if Napoli sold Alan or Koulibaly. He said that, so he blocked that.
Yes, because they were integral to his play style. He needed them there. But it caused that.
If the player wants to leave, you let him leave. You sell him.
Yeah.
But the fact that he was the one who blocked the transfer, and then now you went to go play for him, it just doesn't. I don't know. There's a lot of things that just irks me a little bit. Make me think what Like, doesn't make sense to me. Like that you were discontent to play for Ancelotti and Napoli, who blocked your transfer. Like, wouldn't you be resentful towards him and not want to go play for him? Like, I don't know. I'm just how I'm thinking.
This also brings up another point that happened with Alan and is most likely going to happen with Milik right now, is that it's gonna be a toxin in the locker room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly,
he's
Milik,
gonna be a cancer in the locker room. There's no way around it. If he stays, he's a cancer in the locker room.
I wouldn't let Milik. If Milik stays this year, I wouldn't let him anywhere near the locker room. I'd keep him in the stands.
You cannot. That's the thing. You cannot let him near anywhere in the locker room.
You're not part of the team anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It has to be on the stands or stay at home, and we'll pay you at home if that's the case, right? You cannot come in here because look at what happened to us last season. Our locker room
dissolved.
Yeah. There was no integrity in the locker room, and moreover, Ancelotti didn't know how to manage that team and keep everyone in line and check. Because you have to remember, Napoli is also a team where a lot of the players have emotions that run very high,
which is a good and a bad thing.
Good, very good and a bad thing. Good on the field because they'll put blood, sweat, and tears if they have to. Bad in the sense that if things start to go south, which they did last season, they really, like, it's the phrase, when it rains it pours. Like, it's just going to be a downward spiral if nobody takes control of it, which is why I'm glad, like I said before, Gattuso is our coach because he's someone who can manage that very effectively. He's someone that even Osimhen said himself, Gattuso doesn't bullshit you. He's an upfront, strong character, and you need that with this team.
But you look at the way Gattuso played. That's how he coaches too. Like he's
exactly.
But even before Gattuso was there, the players that they have, like Napoli has players that play with that edge. But if you look at the contrast between Ancelotti and Gattuso, like Ancelotti's more like quiet, chill. Gattuso's more like, getting motivated. It's more of a motivator, and I feel like that was part of the problem with Napoli. Napoli needs that motivator. Like most teams that are successful have a coach that is a motivator, not a coach that is passive. Especially in modern football, modern footballers aren't like footballers of the past. Like sometimes they need maybe they need more of a kick in the ass nowadays. But if you look at the most successful coaches in Europe, they tend to be part of the first class and not the latter. They try to, more motivators than passive coaches.
Exactly. Which is why I think, there's going back to the Milik thing, it could be managed because of the management that we have now. But I think that, if he doesn't leave, I don't know why he isn't leaving. I don't know why he doesn't take the $5 million and run.
He wants his move. He wants that move, that Juve move.
To Juve, he's an idiot.
Juve doesn't want.
It's a stupid move. It's a very stupid move.
Plus, Juve didn't want him. This is what he doesn't understand. Juve didn't want him. Sarri wanted him, and Sarri is no longer. So
he's no longer part of the plans.
Exactly.
Pirlo's not going to look at it. Pirlo doesn't. He's not going to be his first choice. So Juve is going to be like
free at the end of the season. Don't kid yourself. They'll probably take him for free, but they're not going to pay for him. I'm going to pay 30 million euros for him.
They take him for free. I'm going to be even more pissed off.
But
they take him for free.
But
I will riot.
But if he stays, then that's where he's going at the end of the.
That's what's going to go. That's what's going to happen.
That's annoying.
You know what? If that is the case, Milik, I know you're probably not going to watch this, but in the 1 in 3 billion chance that you do, leave the city right now. If that's your plan, leave right now. Just start heading north.
Literally,
do not live there.
No.
You and it's going to make our fans seem really bad, but you're signing a death warrant for yourself. You're not in the sense that you're not going to make life easy for you living in the city.
You're not going to live
very. Let me rephrase it like that.
Very nice, and you're not going to live very nice.
You're not going to live nice at all.
It's like leaving the city. It's like we know your head is at Juve, and you're here, like like it just doesn't make. I don't understand. Like I would, if I was him, I would push for. I agree that he needs a new start, but like now you're being picky. Like you want to be specifically to Juve. Like I think it's
beggars being choosers right now.
no, you're not like you're not that good. Like I don't know who has to bring it to him.
Exactly.
You're not that
beggars
good.
being choosers.
Yeah, you're not that good to be demanding a specific move, and not for anything. You want to go to a club that doesn't really want you that much, like that doesn't want to really pay for you, or do you want to go for a team or go to a team that wants to invest in you and will spend the money for you? If I was a player, I'd rather go to Roma that wants to spend 30 million euros on me than to Juve who just wants me for free. Like, what am I, cheap? Like,
Exactly.
Don't you have any pride?
You go to Roma
because he plays like a fucking joke, but don't you have a little bit of pride? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, this whole situation for me is it makes me rip hair out of my head. That first of all, he's still
my skin crawl, to be honest.
It makes my blood boil. He needs to leave the club. Long story short, you need to leave the club. At the very minimum, leave the city.
Definitely. Listen, right now, I don't hate Milik. I do not hate Milik. Let me put that on the record.
I can't say that for
September
myself.
16th, 2020, I don't hate Milik. If Milik stays and doesn't take this move to Roma, which he's getting good money, and Roma's not a small shit club, and we would make some money, like we would get something for him, then I will hate Milik. At this point, I don't hate Milik. I think if you're a professional, sometimes in sports, sometimes you need change. I think Milik, as a professional, if I was Milik, my time and my cycle in Naples is done. Sure, I need a change, but now you're rejecting that change, and then you want to go to our arch nemesis rivals that we hate the most. Sporting wise, like the number one team that Napoli doesn't get along with is Juventus, and not for anything, we sat through 2 injuries and waited for you, and we were patient and all this, and the results never came. And now you're gonna it's a slap in the face, in my opinion. It's a slap in the face. If Juve was his only move, then okay, fine, maybe I understand that a little bit. But the fact that you have other offers on the table, I've seen Tottenham, I saw Atletico Madrid, Roma, and you want to specifically go to Juve? What does that? I don't know. What does that tell you about somebody? Like,
yeah, that it just shows the type of character that he is. I wish I could say the same. That on September 16th, I don't hate Milik. I do. I do.
That's fair.
I do. It's just because
I don't like
the way
him.
he is.
I don't like him. Right now, I don't like him. But hate, I don't know if I hate him.
I hate him because of his intentions. I hate him because of his intentions, and that's the reason why I hate him.
But you know what? I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt until it becomes an official thing that he's screwing us over. Maybe he had, they're still in contract negotiations as far as what Fabrizio Romano tweeted out today, is that his agent is in Roma to negotiate 5 million euros on the table net. I think there was something that made me laugh. Some sort of clause in his contract that he gets a bonus if he wins the European Golden Boot. I would send him money if he did that too. To be honest,
I'll take money out of my own account and send it to him.
I would send him a bonus too.
We'll start a fund and send it to him.
Yeah.
Anyways, I can go on for hours on just this topic, but let's go on to something on a lighter note. Let's talk about the preseason. Let's talk about the preseason. Want to go first? What you thought about it?
Sure. I don't know. To be honest, I know they played some teams in the Abruzzo area, like Castel de Sangro, and they played Pescara. They honestly, I haven't seen they haven't had I was waiting for that sporting match. That sporting match was that day I was excited for it because I was gonna be okay, today we're gonna see where we're really at competitive wise, because we're gonna be playing a European team that competes in Europa League or Champions League or whatever. So I thought that was gonna be a worthy opponent where we could kind of see where this team is at before the start of the season. I mean, you see positives in terms of Lozano looked really well this training camp, and he scored a few goals. Osimhen scored a bunch of goals. The most recent game against Pescara, I think, he was playing good, but apparently I was reading that he had to go to France the same day, and like he was traveling a lot. So, maybe you can give him a little bit of slack on that game. Patania looked really good against Pescara, but then again, you're seeing that they're playing Pescara, so you got to take it with a grain of rice. But there was a lot of promising signs.
Mhm.
I didn't like the way we defended in preseason, even though they didn't concede. I thought that Koulibaly played a lot, but I think Koulibaly's head is a little bit obviously thinking about his potential future and things like that. So, but okay, what else can I talk about preseason? 4-3-3 versus 4-2-3-1. I like 4-2-3-1 better. Looks like from what I saw on Twitter from a few reporters that Napoli's going to go with a 4-3-3, and a lot of them are saying that Patania is going to be starting in the 4-3-3, which I don't know how I feel about that, because you just paid 70 million euros for Osimhen and you're not going to start him. I don't know about that. But anyways, yeah, but between the two formations, I like a 4-2-3-1. And yeah, I mean, it was an okay preseason. The one positive is nobody got hurt. I can't really say much else. Like, it's not like we
Yeah.
beat any big teams. Like, it's hard to, like, honestly, I'm going into like Sunday with like no like idea about how we're gonna actually play in like a competitive match, because I don't think Napoli's really played a competitive game. Like, they played Serie D teams. Uh, Pescara maybe was a little bit of a step up, but like, I don't
Yeah.
know. We'll see Sunday.
I gotta agree. So I'll start off with the positives of it. Well, the positives, obviously, we didn't concede a goal in 4 matches, 4 matches, something like that.
Yeah.
4 matches, we didn't concede a goal. Fantastic, but yeah, like you said, take it with a grain of salt, because they're against Serie D teams. One of them wasn't Serie D. Castel di Sangro is actually in the Promozione Molise, which is below Serie D.
Is that
Yeah.
one? Is Castel di Sangro the one that had the goalie that literally was
Like 14 years old?
shift? He was a waiter after the game.
Oh no, the goalie was like 14. One of them.
Oh, that was the one with the four. You see what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
can't really like gauge these games like seriously, right? Like,
Or at least he looked 14. He could have been like 16 or something like that. Regardless, he was a child. So yeah, having no goals conceded, fantastic, with a grain of salt. The 4-3-3 thing actually surprised me, because we looked, in my opinion, a million times better in a 4-2-3-1.
oh yeah,
A million times better in a 4-2-3-1, especially with Osimhen strike as our starting striker. Now, okay, Patania is good. Don't get me wrong. In that last game against Pescara, he got a goal, 2 assists and a goal.
3 and 2 assists and a goal. Yeah,
2 assists and a goal.
all involved in 3 goals. Yeah.
Fantastic performance by him. Granted, against Pescara, but he still looked really good. Now, to me, he is what I consider a super sub.
Oh,
so he is a super sub. He is in the dying moments when you need a goal, you throw him out there, and he's gonna bully defenders left and right. He's gonna hold up the place,
especially on tired defenders.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. He already bullies defenders fresh at the start of the game.
Yeah.
Watch him against Spal. He's literally a bulldozer. There's no way of stopping him. So having him out there towards the end of the game when we really need it, on fresh legs against tired defenders, he's going to pop in a goal for you. He is someone you look towards consistently off the bench as a starter, considering the fact that we just bought Osimhen, and considering the fact that Osimhen he's phenomenal. He looks.
He's gonna be. I think he's gonna be a star. I think he's gonna be a star, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so too. But granted, like you said, against Promozione and Serie D teams, but still, he scored
even in trade.
Someone scores a hat trick, yeah. But when someone scores a hat trick in 8 minutes, you got to look at them and go, well,
Doesn't matter
there's
who
something.
you're playing against.
Doesn't matter who you're playing. He scored a hat trick in 8 minutes. He scored a goal in the second minute, basically off kickoff. So when you have someone like that who is pacey, he's strong,
He's long.
He's very tall. I didn't realize how tall he was until I saw him up against a couple center backs. And he has an attack. His attacking IQ is so well tuned that he always seems to make the right decision with his runs, his hold up play, with his even his turns. When he takes a ball and takes a one-touch turn, he always seems to know where he anticipates the defender's move before he even makes it, and so he can make the right move and blow basically the defender out of the play and beat everyone else with pace.
Yeah,
right?
he also he's a really good passer. I've noticed, like he passes the ball very well,
especially in the hold-up play.
Yeah, like him and Lozano are a good partnership.
Plus, you're gonna have a counterattack that consists of, in my opinion, if I was Gattuso and I would set up a formation in the system, I'd have Lozano, Osimhen, Insigne, right? And then Cam is Mertens. Mertens Cam or Fabian Cam, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have that counterattack. Defenders are going to be shitting themselves.
Oh,
it's a scary counterattack.
You can never switch off. You can't switch off.
Exactly. Because you have two playmakers, i.e. Mertens and Insigne, right? And you have two pacey, one very strong, one both very technical attackers coming at you at full tilt. Mm-hmm. You're going to be like, oh, what the hell am I going to do now? I got to either foul or hope and play the best that I got the right position to take the ball off one of them. Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a very scary counterattack, and just technically speaking, all their abilities and the way they linked up with each other, especially in preseason, makes defenders think. And as long as you can make a defender think, you've already beat them.
Think them twice, make them doubt themselves.
You make them doubt themselves, you've already beat them. And they all do that very well, all four of them.
I have a question. I've seen a lot of this. Do you think if Napoli switches to a 4-2-3-1, they should sell Fabian?
No.
Do you think Fabian could play in a 4-2-3-1?
Fabian works very Spain under 21 or under 23. He played in the 4-2-3-1, and he was probably the best player of that tournament.
Where did he play in a 4-2-3-1?
He played more in the deep lying position, which still works.
I feel like that suits him well. It's not like he can't break forward if there's space. You gotta put a more defensive minded defender next to him, right?
Here's my explanation or my reasoning for that, right? So you have the 4-2-3-1, the formation I'd set up, right? Meret and net, obviously.
Obviously.
Koulibaly, Manolas, center backs. If Koulibaly stays,
see if they can figure out this year if they stay, because last year.
Yeah, if not, Romani is moving to center back, starting center back. Left back, it's gonna have to be Mario Rui or Gulam if he's healthy enough.
Gulam looked really good against Pescara. That's another thing.
He looked really good, but the thing is, he's out of form. He hasn't played in a Serie A match for a while now.
Like, if he could get back to like almost like what he was, like that's like signing a player right there. Like, if he's
exactly
like a Gulam, that's like almost what he was. Like that would be amazing. Like, at least enough to give Mario Rui like a break or compete with Mario Rui for a starting role, right?
Position, yeah. But ideally,
nice, but it's not gonna happen.
Ideally, Reguilon would have been nice, but he's at Tottenham now.
Tottenham, yeah.
Or even Tagliafico would have been okay from Ajax. He looks pretty good. Grimaldo from
supposedly.
Yeah, Grimaldo could have been another one. But anyways, so Mario Rui or Gulam left back. Right back, Di Lorenzo, no comp there.
Yeah.
The center mids, I'd put Dem and Fabian, CDMs. CDM, CM, because Dem is the more deep-lying position. He's more of a regista role, and that allows Fabian to move up and down the pitch and can join the attack every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd put Mertens Cam, Lozano, and Insigne right and left respectively, and Osimhen striker. I think that's the best formation.
That's our strongest
formation.
Yeah, 100%. And then look at your bench. That bench could easily play. Like you could start that bench against a Spal or a Spezia and expect to blow them out of the water with Patania, with Zelinski, with Lobotka. Like those players, Politano should be able to beat a Spezia. So, the
only problem with that is
rotation would be really good.
The only problem with that is Zelinski just re-signed, and they re-signed him for quite a lot of money. So you're leaving him out of the formation now. Maybe that's why they're sticking with a 4-3-3, so that way Zilu has his opportunity to play.
I mean, you don't think you could play at Zilu and Fabian together in that? You probably couldn't in that formation.
No, you couldn't. You need someone more deep lying, and you need either Fabian, Dem, or Lobotka to play in those positions.
Unless Napoli, just plays two positions, they have two formations that they could play.
I mean, another thing you could play is doesn't really work, but like a 4-3-1-2. That way you have Zielu, Dem, and Fabian on the field all at the same time. Mertens can still be the cam. Osimhen, Insigne up top, but Insigne up top, it doesn't really work out because
he needs to be on the wing.
With Ancelotti's 4-4-2, when Insigne was playing the center forward, he was non-existent for most of the match.
I mean, he scored some goals. He did score some goals.
He scored some goals, but he didn't look as impressive as he does on the wing.
Oh,
that's his position.
That's his spot.
That's where he thrives.
Yeah.
So, the 4-3-3, in my opinion, doesn't really work. Well, no, it works. It's just that our strongest formation is a 4-2-3-1 and the one that I had just mentioned. For sure.
I mean, I think they could always bounce back and forth from a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-3-3. Like a 4-2-3-1, you can make it a 4-3-3 in the middle of the game if you have to sub on somebody and switch formations. Yeah,
exactly.
I feel like if they could learn how to play two formations, that kind of makes your team a little bit harder to if an opposing team has to plan playing you, they got to figure out, okay, is Napoli going to play us with a 4-2-3-1 today, or they're going to roll out a 4-3-3, or are they going to switch up formation in the middle of the game? If they could teach two formations, that might be something that could work out well for us.
Also, with Reno's style, when we played the 4-3-3, it's not the 4-3-3 that we're used to seeing with Sarri, which was fast-paced, possession, quick 1-2. Yeah, it's really slow. So when you're playing a slow 4-3-3, you might as well play a 4-2-3-1 because you're going to be playing just as slow, right, in your build-up.
Yeah.
But you still have basically what you're doing is you're overloading the midfield, so you're still going to have passing options, and you can still hold a possession play while still building up the way Reno's system technically works, right? Which is
better enough
point.
Yeah.
So that's. Then again, when I talk about this formation too, there's a couple signings that I would have enjoyed, like Reguilon, Boga, if that even still is a thing. I haven't heard a thing about Boga yet. Who else?
I don't know.
Carbonic.
I'll chime in after.
Carbonic would have been he's 7 million euros, 19-year-old. He's not bad.
I thought I was reading that it was done.
Yeah, I don't know. I was talking to Danny about it, and I don't think it's happened yet. Even Zabolzai would have been that would have been my favorite signing. I couldn't care less about Boga anymore.
No,
I was all about Boga. Zabolzai.
Honestly, I think we have enough strikers. I would have liked to see a left back, and I would have liked to see a very solid midfield player. And then
I agree.
I still think that Napoli has a fire sale basically coming up, because we do have a lot of players that where do they fit into the squad right now? Where does Where does Unas fit into the squad? Where does Eunice fit into the squad? Where does Lorente fit into the squad? So
Yeah.
you're gonna see a lot of. I don't know. In my opinion, I think Napoli's probably done signing players. I think you're gonna see a fire sale basically up until I think when is the Mercato's close in October?
I have no idea when it closes.
I think it's in October. So these last few weeks, you're gonna see them scrambling to sell all these players as fast as they can, get them out on loan.
Okay, if there is a fire sale, I don't think that we stop signing. As of right now, we stop signing. If we have a fire sale, we get 10 million here, 15 million here, right? Unas, Eunice. We sell Llorente for like maybe 10. Like 10's generous.
I don't. Or maybe less.
Oh yeah, come on.
You think 10?
That's what I'm saying. 10 is generous. That's what I said. Meaning that 10 is like the absolute max. We can
Yeah. I don't see him going for 10. I see him going for like maybe like 5, 6.
Yeah, if that. That's why I said 10 is generous.
And 10 is very generous. It'd be like, wow, it'd be amazing.
Yeah, so like that's like 30 million euros right there. You can sign probably you can sign Carbonic for sure, 7 mil. That's an easy signing there.
They could make that. That signing is definitely something they can do. And then I keep seeing Socrates, whatever, freaking Papadopoulos from
Socrates Papadopoulos. No, not a chance.
I don't know. Supposedly he's coming up. Yeah. So there's a few small.
On a free, it's not bad because it's just a good bench player to have.
Yeah, that's you have experience.
Throw him in. Right?
And
it's experienced player.
It's probably just a friend for Manolas at this point.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably who's pushing the sale.
No, but from what I've read, I'm seeing that like De Laurentiis kind of wants to sell some players and maybe Koulibaly to cover potential losses from last season because of COVID, and then the probable losses from this season between not having Champions League and also like not having fans. So, I mean, I think
we're still gonna get money from Europa.
You're gonna get money. Napoli's gonna make money. Like I don't know. I think it's just using it as an excuse. I don't think Napoli's going to still have a good balance sheet.
We're in the positive. We're one of the there's a graph that I pulled up. I sent it to the chat with everyone too.
Yeah.
We have zero debt. We're the only team with no debt.
But I think he wants to shed obviously Milik, like even just to be paying him. Like he doesn't want to be paying these players that aren't going to be playing. Like he wants to make the squad a little bit more lean in terms of the players that aren't really played that much, like getting them off the books. So which I think makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, so
we'll see. Getting into that no debt thing though, that's a very interesting topic, but we can get more into depth of that possibly on the next one. But the no debt thing for me just doesn't seem good. It's not good. Because that means there's no investment into the club. That's what it means. There's no investment in the club.
Business that is not bad. Like that, not a lot of debt is bad, but some debt means that like you're investing. Like
there's progression. They're investing.
And I can name things for De Laurentiis to bring up his debt for. I think Napoli needs way better infrastructure in a lot of things, not just soccer wise, marketing wise, website wise, global reach wise.
Don't even get me started with that.
Academy wise. There's so many things that he could be investing money in. That's smart money.
Don't even get me started with that because global marketing wise.
Global marketing, the online store. Have you seen the Napoli online store? 2 months. Yeah. I've been waiting 2 months for my jersey to come, and I bought a jersey 2 months ago. And do I have a tracking number? I don't have a tracking number. I don't have nothing. I don't know where this package is. For all I know, it could be in Karachi or like freaking Iraq, Baghdad. I don't know where this package is. There's no
just go to T-Dot Italians, man. They got 50% off right now.
Now it's 50% off. I bought
But by the way,
I don't know.
Shout out T-Dot
Italians. I bought it a few weeks ago when it was when the sale was on the Napoli store.
Fair enough.
I don't know, just because I wanted to try it out. I never bought anything from Napoli, so Napoli online store. So I thought I'd give it a try. I don't know if I'd give it a second try because it's internationally it's terrible. It's really,
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. Especially, by the way, I just want to take a quick moment. Shout out to T-Dot Italians. They're a sponsor to our club. So whoever's watching this right now, if you're from the GTA, definitely check them out. They got
not just for
great
Napoli
deals.
stuff. They sell everything.
Exactly.
So,
For everything. They got
that
great
being
deals
said,
and a bunch of stuff.
I saw what they posted the shirt, the polo shirt,
Yeah.
% off. That's actually a
50% off right now. Yeah. So
I have to go grab
everyone
that.
go check them out.
My track jacket, my track suit. It's nice.
Exactly.
They're one of the
Yeah.
few stores in the GTA that carry Kappa and Napoli.
Actually, I think they might be the only one, other than maybe Evangelista. I don't know about Evangelista.
There's a few, but like they have the most Napoli stuff.
Yeah, they have definitely the most amount of stuff. Not just gear, like they also have they have technical wear as well as clothing. So if you ever need anything, not just Napoli related, but anything clothing related or any other Serie A team, definitely go check them out.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the De Laurentiis debt thing. Yeah, name me a youth academy player that has made it to our squad. Can you? Name me where the youth academy is. Yeah, you can't do it, right?
Oh.
I can name one. Alessio Zerbin, and we just sent him on loan. One.
Gaetano came from the youth team.
Two. Can you name anything else?
Tutino.
You can't, right?
Gennaro Tutino.
Oh, okay, 3. How long has the youth academy been active for?
A while. And you know what's funny? When we're in Champions League and they're in the UEFA Youth League, they get absolutely freaking murdered by every other like club's like youth academy, like murdered, like massacred, 10-0.
We get embarrassed by them, and thank God we haven't really played Ajax academy because they just blow us out of the water.
Well, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
So
that's something easily invested, and not for anything. Like look at our area like of Italy. Look at Campania. Look at the Naples region. How many freaking players do you see in Serie A and around the world that are from our spot? Ciro Immobile, Quagliarella, and then even just looking at where my family's from in Castellammare, they got Esposito, Donnarumma, all these other goalies, Sportiello, and then if you look in Napoli, you got Armando Iezzo. You have so many players that are not bad, like that are actually pretty good. That why are these other teams like picture, for example, Quagliarella was a good friend of my dad's, like growing up. You know what team discovered him? Not Napoli.
No.
Not Napoli was younger. It was Torino. A scout from Torino who happened to be in Castellammare and found him. Yeah. Where are the Napoli scouts? Like having a coffee, scratching their ass. Like
the scouting network.
Do we have
the scouting network is very rudimentary, to say the least. Not only that, the facilities that they use, and I've seen the facilities myself, extremely rudimentary. Nothing compared to Juventus, Inter.
For the youth team, it's terrible. For the youth, it's terrible.
Terrible. Look 2 hours north. You go to Lazio's academy. You go to Roma's academy. Their facilities are almost as good as their main facilities.
It makes me scratch my head, to be honest, because you've had, like, I guarantee you when a Rafa Benitez came in, when a Carlo Ancelotti came in, these had to have been things that were told to De Laurentiis, and De Laurentiis was like, nah, it's not important.
It's not important. Exactly.
You know, he finally budged and he upgraded both the times when he got Benitez and when he got Ancelotti. He upgraded the facilities for the team, but he never upgraded anything for the youth, for the academy, and I would love to know if Napoli actually has scouts. I actually don't think that they have scouts. Like, I mean, scouts not scouting other teams' players, like first team players. Like, do they have scouts that are scouting like kids, like 15, 16, 17-year-old kids that are up and coming? Like, do they have people looking at these?
They do. Like I said, it's very rudimentary, and plus, when you get the kids to look at the facilities that they're going to be a part of, they're going to be like, "Fuck that! I'm going to go up north, have better facilities, and probably a better opportunity." And so they all go.
Yeah, and then not for anything. Look. It's bad. I have to draw comparisons from them. Look at Juve. Juve has academies all over the freaking world.
We played at them. We played the same facilities that their academy played. And guess what? Fantastic facility. It was a great facility.
Very, very, very great. Very great. I don't know. It really just blows my mind. Like, don't you want to? Napoli's not going to be able to sign a Messi or a Ronaldo, but don't you want to maybe potentially find the next one or develop the next one?
Yeah. Not only that, having a youth academy.
There's so much talent in Napoli, bro.
Exactly. First of all, everyone and their mother, from the little streets to the big cities, everyone plays soccer. Everyone plays calcio, right? So there's gonna be one that you're gonna find. You're gonna be like, this kid's fantastic.
Of course.
We got to take him, but you don't have the facility nor the means to do so. Not only that, right? It's just it gets me frustrated because there's so much potential for growth and so little is being done.
That's where that's where the growth. This team, that's where it has to grow. It has to grow in marketing and it has to grow in the youth, in the academy. Those are the two number one. If Napoli could invest in anything, is their global marketing and their reach, and fan affairs and things like that. Mm-hmm. And their youth club, or their youth academy, and developing players. Like, you have to be able to develop players.
Yeah, especially in the global marketing side, right? There's so many untapped markets. Like, I was talking just before we started recording this, I was just saying, Nigeria. It took an Osimhen signing for Nigeria to start setting up their own clubs there. There's already a couple of them that I've come across, right?
Yeah.
That's already one untapped market.
But not for anything. We have the clubs, right? De Laurentiis saw that video. Hopefully he gets well soon and everything. This is secondary compared to the health. But De Laurentiis sees that there's all these clubs. There's no way for us to register officially. There's no portal. There's nothing for us to officially register our club, so we could show our support and register and help the club. That's a way to create revenue. Is why can't we register? It's extremely difficult to register an official club of Napoli, outside of the city of Naples. If you look at Juventus has two clubs in Toronto, two official, and the Juve is making money off of that. Like, they pay Juve to register the club. So I don't understand how De Laurentiis is not seeing this potential for money. Like, he's supposed to be a businessman, but yet he's totally neglecting all of his potential revenue streams.
Yeah, and just to go back to the video, if you guys haven't seen the video yet, if you go on De Laurentiis' Twitter account, or even if you go onto the Napoli webpage, a bunch of Napoli clubs from around the world, including ourselves, I was a part of the video on behalf of the entire Napoli club here in Toronto. We sent the video out to De Laurentiis and his wife to wish them on a speedy recovery. So, yeah, anyways, he sees that video, right? And he probably has the idea in his head. He probably is looking at the video and going, wow, there's more to this than I really expected. But then again, you should have seen that last year when you came to the United States. You played in Michigan and Miami. That should have already been another clue or another hint where, you know what, this is a market here that I haven't really hit or I haven't really touched. And, don't quote me on this either, but I don't know if there is an official Napoli club either in Canada or in the United States. Maybe Montreal, maybe New York.
Not official. They're not official.
Maybe. I don't know for a fact. I don't know.
It's difficult to make it official, man. I don't. I'm pretty sure they're not official.
I don't know, but if anyone is listening to this or watching this and they do happen to know this, please let us know, because To my knowledge, no. And and to my knowledge, that we were going to be the first ones, or we were trying to be one of the first ones outside in North America, next to impossible, nearly next to
It's hard
impossible
to
to
the
accomplish.
club is like I said, I don't know if they don't have enough people working for them, or like they don't have a like person
No,
dedicated for marketing or fan outreach. They're impossible. Like Napoli, like as a club, as a like they're what would it be? It would be like they're like the people who work for the actual like club, like corporate side, like are non-existent.
yeah,
They're impossible to work with. It's
yeah.
sad.
And like I said on the last one, if anyone listened to the last one with Azuri fan Phil, and if you haven't, go check that out.
That was
I think that was a really good one. I really enjoyed doing that one, and hopefully we can get him back on again. But if you look back onto that one, I think I kind of explained it, where Napoli doesn't have a direct marketing team. They have a third party team that deals with a bunch of other companies and clubs. So realistically, that company really couldn't care less about what goes
hire someone.
on the outside,
Give someone
right?
a job.
So why don't you just redirect your funds to hire internal marketing teams like Roma does? They have a fantastic social media presence,
They're really
right?
good at social media.
So why don't redirect your funds towards something more internal and work from there and expand your club, right? That's to me, that's what makes the most amount of sense. That's what's logical, right? But it's
Yeah.
not happening for reasons that I really can't wrap my head around.
I would do it for free. I just want De Laurentiis whenever I ask him to fly me out to Napoli and so I can go watch games. But I don't want to watch in the stands. I want to be on the field. I want to be like I want
Right?
to be
And it's a
like
decibel.
yeah. I want to be in the mix. Like I want to be with Decibel Bellini like on the side there. I'll do it for free,
Yeah,
man. I'll be like the best social media account person, man. Like honestly, stop paying these bozos that don't even care about the club. Like you need to like have an actual dedicated social media person like that. Like that's their job. Like pay someone. Don't be
I
cheap.
agree.
Can't be
I
cheap
agree.
with these
And
little things, man. Like
you
that
can
little things
skimp in
that are
some
big
other.
things, really.
You can kind of skimp in some areas, but in order to be truly big, we're already a big club. Don't get me wrong, but to get like a European giant big, you have to invest, and you have to invest,
We'll never make the
and
jump. You'll never make the jump.
you won't. And well, you can't say he won't, but it seems unlikely that he will. But if he were, I think within the next couple of years, I'd say even 5 years, the expansion of this club would be exponential,
I know.
both marketing wise and internal.
In my life, I'd love to see Napoli become up there with the Giants, like become like a big club or mega club. Um, I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like De Laurentiis is smart enough to make it happen, but I don't know if he's lazy or he's lost interest or I don't know what it is. Especially lately, like
complacency.
yeah,
Complacency. They're doing well enough. They win a couple trophies here and there.
he doesn't like to take
It's
the risk.
enough to balance the books.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
yeah. He doesn't. He's not a
But
risk taker, which I get. He always throws it in our face. He says, "Oh look, Napoli's not bankrupt. Look this and that." But sometimes you got to take a risk. You got to be able to take a little bit of risk, to
mhm,
to get that success, right?
yeah,
Um,
I
yeah.
agree. But it is what it is for now. I just hope for the next season, you know, we we start seeing things change, especially team wise and play wise, that we don't end up in the same position as we did this year. And speaking of next season and predictions, we actually got asked by Far From Vesuvius, Rafa. Shout out to Rafa and Far From Vesuvius if we wanted to participate in this. It's kind of like I guess it's kind of like a fantasy pool. I
Yeah, it's
don't
kind of
really,
like a fantasy like league kind of sort of, but like a
or
unique.
if anyone knows a suicide pool, how a suicide pool works, where you pick teams every week and you get points off of the teams you get correct. I can't remember the rules now, but essentially we got asked to do this, and you know what? We're gonna start it right now because the season's coming up.
It's this next week. Okay.
It's next week. So
Let's.
I'm gonna take a quick look at the matches.
I gotta look at that
And
too.
we're gonna quickly confer on what we're gonna pick, who we're gonna choose, the scores, and then we challenge everyone else who is listening to this podcast right now, especially far from Vesuvius, to tag along in this. So we are going to go.
So are we randomly just pick 2 teams and then they can't pick the same games, or it doesn't matter?
No. They can pick any games. We can pick any games. They can pick any games. We have to pick the team, the score, and if we get both of them right, I think it's 6 points.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got the first matchup: Fiorentina, Torino, and Hellas Verona and Roma. Then we have Parma, Napoli, Genoa, Crotone, Sassuolo, Cagliari, Juventus, Sampdoria.
Let's pick one game from the 19th and one game from the 20th or the 21st. So,
all right. I'm saying Fiorentina, Torino is the one we should pick.
That's going to be a tougher one than the Verona Roma, in my opinion.
I like a challenge.
You like a challenge? Okay. I think that Fiorentina is going to win, in my opinion.
Okay. You want me to pick the score?
Okay.
I'll
pick, and then we'll flip it for the next one. Okay. So I'm going to say Fiorentina is going to be Torino. And what do you think the score is?
It's a high-scoring match.
Ooh. Okay.
I think the score is going to be. I don't want to get this wrong now. Just going to take a look at the teams. I'm going to say the score 3-1 Fiorentina.
Okay, that's not bad. That sounds about right.
Reason.
I was gonna say 4. I was gonna say 4-1, but I think 3-1 is a little bit more realistic.
3-1's a little more realistic to me. All right, want me to pick the September 20th match?
Okay, yeah, pick.
You know what I'm picking. You know what I'm picking already.
You gonna pick the Napoli game?
Parma, Napoli.
Okay. What do you think is gonna be the score?
It's you. You got to pick the score.
Oh,
I'm not gonna say it.
You gotta pick who's winning.
I picked the team. I picked the team who's winning. Napoli. Pick the score. It's tough. You don't want to be wrong.
Does Parma still have Kulusevski?
No. He went to Juve.
He went to use there and I think Napoli's gonna win 3-0.
That's impressive. Well, the odds right now are 169. Parma's underdog 475. So you might be right. That's a pretty big odd.
Yeah, I think. Do I get more points if I pick who scores? Like,
that's a good question. That's a good question. Throw it in and I'll ask them after.
Okay, so for Napoli, it depends on who they start. Okay, if they start Osimhen, I think he's gonna get a brace. I think he'll get a brace the first game against Parma.
Right.
I see Osimhen 2 goals, and then maybe I don't know who he's playing with. Osimhen 2 goals, and I'll say maybe Insigne or Lozano with 1, depending on who's playing.
I think you have to make, if you're going to do this for extra points, you have to make a definitive decision. So is it going to be Insigne or Lozano who's going to score? We have to make it as fair as possible here.
A little light up. Okay, I'm gonna go Lozano. Lozano, Osimhen.
Lozano. I'm actually going to write that down right now. So Osimhen brace. Actually, we picked Fiorentina and Torino
3-1.
3-1, and then Napoli, Parma
3-0.
3-0. You put Osimhen times 2 and Lozano.
Carmine.
Yeah.
Non c'è 2 senza di 3. So 1 for 3.
Amen. I've locked in our scores. I have them written down right here. Now, I kind of I'm curious to see what the other guys got to say. So if you're watching this right now, these are our scores. We're locked in. We're ready to go.
The video evidence. There's no going back.
It's written in stone. We are ready to win. So bring your worst.
Yeah, we gotta. Yeah, I'm very competitive, so I don't want to lose it. So
Me too.
I don't care how what the competition is. I always want to win.
I'm saying this. I'm competitive in nature as well, but it is a friendly competition between most of the cultural podcasts that are out here, and what Far From Vesuvius has done is really something that what I wouldn't have thought of in a million years, to be quite honest. It's really a genius idea.
Yeah.
That they get everyone together. They have this little fantasy pool thing, and essentially, it's not even for whoever wins. It's just getting it's getting each podcast and each club exposure out there, and increasing the base of our platform. So
It's also
it's
nice
just
to make friends,
exactly
connect with people.
right.
Yeah.
And another thing is, Marco is a part of Far From Vesuvius, very good friend of us and the club here in Toronto. And just, when you start making those connections and expanding that base, possibilities are limitless.
Oh, of course, definitely.
So I think this is gonna be fun. Everyone heard it here first.
I'm excited in multiple ways for the season to start. Like, this is just one of many things that's getting me excited. So, I love the beginning of a season, right? Like, it's clean slate. The possibilities are infinite. So hopefully, I just hope for Napoli that we start off well, and you can't win early, but you can lose early. So let's hopefully, we start the season with a few wins and hopefully a few big wins. I know we play Juve early, so
October 4th.
Fingers crossed.
It's marked down.
It's marked down. Also my birthday, so hopefully Napoli hasn't lost.
What a birthday present.
I don't think they've
What do
ever
you mean?
like on my birthday. I don't think they've lost.
Oh really? So look at that. Your
Like
birthday presents and
weekend, like the games coming up for my birthday, like they always like win. I remember like they played Liverpool one year, like I think it was a couple of years ago, on my birthday or the day before my birthday, and that was like one of the best games of the season. So big games close to my birthday,
Let's see what happens.
Historically well, so fingers crossed.
I hope for the same thing. Like you said the best. You can't win early, but you can lose it early. It's exactly what happened to us last season.
That's it.
So, I've said this, I'm like a broken record right now. I've said this many times before. Juve is going to struggle at first. Inter might struggle a little bit. They're going to be pretty strong. Milan's going to be pretty strong. We got to be up there with them. We got to hit the ground running. I think
Inter might win the Scudetto this year, to be honest.
That's my prediction too, as much as I hate to say it. But Inter is most likely going to win. I don't see Juventus winning it this year. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe we can win it. Who knows?
You never know. You got to see.
Anything is possible. You got to wait and see, especially because of this preseason that we just had. Very limited. Not a lot of teams had the opportunity to play bigger clubs. So we're all basically starting off at the same line. You have that equal opportunity. Hit the ground running. Go for that win.
Keep it close.
That's it.
Like this last season, honestly, I know I was watching IFTV's podcast and they had us like all of them had us like finishing 6th or 7th. I don't think that is fair. Like we a lot of stuff happened off the field. I don't think that where we finished this last season reflects the strengths or the quality of the club. I think Napoli's a top 4 team in Serie A. Even no matter how good Atalanta is, no matter how good Lazio was, I think that we have better squad-wise. I think we have a more complete squad,
especially this year.
That being said, they dug themselves a hole. Like there was problems in the locker room, and I think if we could just keep it close, like don't make the gap so far. Like you saw towards the end of the season, Juve burnt out, Inter burnt out, Lazio burnt out, but there was no team that could catch them because they already made themselves too much of a gap. So just keep it close, especially in the.
That's all you can hope for.
Yeah, just keep
That's all you can hope for. Just keeping it close. And speaking of next season, I'm just going to touch in on this right now. This is club related.
Yeah.
Napoli club related. So this is going to be tweeted out on our main platform too. There's going to be a post about it on Instagram. But for the first couple months of the season, possibly till December, we will not be having any match meets. This is because we want to be entirely safe and entirely sure about the situation here in the city, because if you're from the city, you can tell right now that there is kind of a second wave coming in, especially with the reopening of stage 3. And even though it is considered legal that we can have gatherings, for the benefit of everyone a part of our club and for the well-being of everyone else around us, we think it's the best move to wait it out. We can have a couple of online meets here and there. You'll have the podcast with Sereno and I, possibly bi-weekly, bi-weekly.
Once the games start, we can maybe start rolling them out every week just to have a reaction preview to the next game. We could probably do weekly, I think.
Weekly, yeah.
I know we're both a little bit busy, but I think we could find an hour to record.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Having said that, we just want to make sure that everyone is completely safe, and we'd love to have match meets the way we used to. I looked forward to it every time we had a match meet. I had it marked down on my calendar, and I would count down the days to them just to see everyone there and interact with everyone. But there's going to be other methods of interacting, and just for, like I said, the safety and benefit of everyone, we're just going to postpone it for now, and reevaluate in December. Also, there's going to be another order. Like I said, this is all going to be posted on later. Another order of scarves coming in. I think there's somewhere around 50 that I'm most likely going to be putting in. So if you have another order, if you're listening to this, or you haven't ordered the first time around, didn't get a chance to, you could always follow our club's social media accounts, which will be linked in the description below. Just give us a shout, whatever order you need, order number, name, and any other sort of information that we require. And the scarves should be here. I'm probably going to say around the same time, November, December-ish. Yeah.
Where do they come from? Germany?
No, England.
England.
Yeah, they're really well made. If you haven't seen
they're not cheap. They're not cheap quality. They're very well made scarves, and they're warm too. Like I wear it it's full outside. It's not just like a scarf that's for show. It's functional. Exactly. It's a good scarf, good quality.
Last thing I want to talk about was just other merchandise that we are actually second last thing we want to talk about. Other merchandise we want to come in. We're looking into sweaters, t-shirts, and hats. So not confirmed yet, but do stay tuned for that. That will be posted later on this year, I guess you can say, or start of the new year. But we'll keep everyone updated on that. And then final thing, which I think is kind of exciting and probably a big step for us in the club, is that not now, but possibly coming up towards the new year, we are going to be having official memberships. We're going to be sending out official memberships for people who sign up to our club. That's going to be found on our new website. That's going to be up and running at around the same time, I'd say about November, December-ish. That link would also be provided in our social media accounts. You can go to our club website. On there will be a tab for memberships. Pricing as of right now, we can't really tell you, but what we are looking to get you guys included in the membership is our own clubhouse. We've been looking deeply into a bunch of locations. Some of them look really good, very close to most people in the GTA, or very accessible to get to. So that's really something to look forward to, is just that we'd be able to have our own clubhouse. And mind you, we would be the first club in the city. There's no other club that has this, to have their own official clubhouse.
No other Italian club, I think.
No, I don't think there's any club that has a clubhouse.
I've seen a Benfica club somewhere. Maybe.
They have one?
I don't know if they still have it, but I think they maybe. I don't know. For sure, Italian teams, that would be
Italian teams for sure. So, yeah, we're looking to get that up and running for you. Very exciting news for the both of us. This has been our end goal from when we started September 1 year ago, September last year, around the same time.
Yeah.
This is our 1 year anniversary, basically.
This is kind of like I've always kind of dreamed about having like a clubhouse, because you always see it in Italy, you see it back home, like everyone like meeting up at like the clubhouse, watching like highlights or whatever. Like there's I don't know if you know the Nino D'Angelo movie, Ragazzi della Curva B.
Yeah.
They go back to the clubhouse and they hang out and they watch the highlights and things, and it's like,
it's really fun.
I was like, why can't we have that here? Like we have the fans here. It's nice to have that like intimate setting where like it's just for us. Like that's always been a dream of ours, right? So
I agree.
Seems like it's closer to happening now. So we'll see. Well, we're looking at a few places, but we'll probably have more news about that closer to the end of the year. More concrete news anyways. But right now we're looking. It's a concrete idea right now. So
also in terms of the membership and what you get for the pricing, you'd also be able to get discounts at some sponsorship stores. As of right now, we can't disclose who they are or where they are, but you'll be, once that comes, like I said, once that comes closer to the date, we'll be able to provide you with that information.
Negotiation still.
Exactly. And also another benefit you'd get is a card, a Napoli Club card. Not customizable, unfortunately, but it will have a membership card with the year and everything. And then free merchandise. You get free merchandise upon the purchase. So you know what? Like, for what you're getting, especially the clubhouse, where you have a dedicated place, memberships only, you get to go
whatever
there.
The price is, it'll be worth it, because we'd be unique in the fact that we had our own spot, and it would be something like we all kind of own that club. Like you kind of take ownership in that spot, in that space. Like that's our space. Again, we don't know what the price is going to be. That's depending on a bunch of factors, but I think that if we do go forward with it, which we are hoping that we can do, it's going to be a big source of pride for anyone who's a true Napoli fan that's living in the GTA.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself. So stay tuned for that, and just keep an eye out. Follow our social media pages. That's where we'll provide most of the information. And that's basically all I got for housekeeping for the club. And I think we touched on just about everything else we wanted to talk about.
I mean, we'll start rolling these out like since the season is starting and we're playing every week. We'll start rolling these out weekly probably. So it's we'll have more news as it becomes available to us. But going forward up until probably the end of the year, club wise, we don't have any concrete stuff. But probably by December, we will be able to have a little bit more of an idea of what direction we're heading into.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the weekly podcast, we're just gonna be doing probably reactions to the games and reviews and previews to the next game. So we're gonna have a lot of content coming through the channels. So lots.
I also forgot one more thing. I forgot one more thing. This is regarding the podcast.
One more thing for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure? One more thing.
One more thing. This is regarding the podcast. As of right now, we're doing it virtually, as you can tell, as you're watching this. But we are planning to move towards a more visual-based format, meaning that Sereno and I will have our own place to record the podcast, where we'll have cameras and everything else set up. So that way you can also enjoy not only audio, if you listen through Spotify or Apple, but even on YouTube, where we're going to have most of our visual formats going to be produced out of. That's not going to happen until, say, about a couple months, maybe. Yeah, October.
November. End of October. By the end of October, we should be able to
For sure.
be able to actually meet up and record podcasts.
Yeah. So we're gonna. There's this as of right now. This is how it's gonna be. We're already gonna start the transition to a more visual format. But yeah, like he said, by the end of October, we're gonna have both audio and a visual format for all of you to enjoy. So big like this podcast, a lot of big things coming up, and a lot of things that I am personally very happy about. I've been waiting to do this for a long time, and like I said,
I love this.
It's been a year.
It's like, yeah, it's been, and in a year we've accomplished a lot. So there's a lot for us to be proud of, and not just, I'm not saying us like me and you. I mean us
The
like
club.
everyone in the club. Like we have an amazing group chat. We have like great discussions. Like we made so many friends. Like a lot of the people like that are good friends now met through the club. Obviously not everyone knew that there was so many Napoli fans in the GTA. So there's a lot of solid things that we built that we're gonna continue to build on and grow on. As we start to establish ourselves more. Obviously we've been stunted a little bit with the whole COVID thing, but then again there's other things. Soccer and Napoli comes second to like health and things like that. But it's as much as people think that this thing is a forever thing, it's not. It's going to be temporary. There's going to be life past COVID, and I think that there's a lot of stuff to look forward to in general, but especially when we're looking at the club and what we've been able to accomplish even through COVID. So, yeah.
I couldn't agree more, and I think that's just a perfect note to end on.
There we go.
Right there. So, thank you everyone for listening again. Catch us next time. Most likely, I'd say after the first match, so Padma match on Sunday, we'll post something midweek next week.
Midweek, close to when the next game would be happening. So me and Carmine will try to find definitely before the next game we'll have a reaction, and we'll also have a preview of the next game. And we'll probably have some Mercato news, hopefully, maybe, because Mercato is not closed until October. So there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about on the podcast. So, stay tuned.
Exactly. Perfect. Right. So, see you later, Sere, and thanks all for watching.
Take care, everyone.
Ciao.